Hello, empowered empaths, and welcome to the Power of Healing Your Energy show. I'm Christine Gold, and I'm a spiritual medium, intuitive energy coach, and old soul healer. This is a live show and podcast all about unconditional love, your light, your intuition, and your soul's purpose. This is episode 34, season 2, and this solo episode, we're exploring grief and how to navigate through it after the loss of a loved one. How loss affects everyone differently, and there really is no quick fix to heal. Time doesn't heal it either. So how can we support each other when we experience loss? Depression and anxiety are a side effect of not living your life intuitively, not trusting your gut, the lost connections with yourself and others. And I truly believe healing is the end of conflict within yourself, and that healing begins where the ego ends. This is season 2, and you can find us live every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 4 Mountain, 6 Eastern. A new guest and topic every week. Your soul's purpose is here. 2020, we were raising love in our 5D summit. Now we know better in 2021. We can go direct to source, and that's why we are creating the Christ Consciousness Summit. It will be live Saturday, June 5th and June 6th from 10 till 3 Pacific, live streamed on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. There will be prizes and giveaways. Replays can be found on my Facebook and YouTube pages. Please like, please subscribe, please share, please follow, and please rate and review wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Yes, I'm back again. If you missed it, I did, it's like an hour and a half, because today is the full moon. I mean, actually it was 4 a.m. here Pacific time. It was the full super moon, lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. And we had a beautiful meditation and some readings and cards. So maybe you want to go back and check that out. And welcome, come on in. Please share, please like, please subscribe, and comment and be part of the conversation, whether you are here live or you're listening on the replay. Let us know where you are in the world. If you're new, please say hello. And this is a community. It's a safe community. It's a community built, co-creatively, as I always say, from source. And so we're going to talk about grief and losing a loved one. And I had posted a video on my Facebook page a couple days ago. I had actually recorded this video in January. And, on my phone, because I love saving pictures, I love art and images and nature, and I'm always taking pictures. So my phone was like, you have 2% left in your phone. You need to delete some video, some apps, whatever it was. So I was going through and I found this video from January. And long story short, we had lost Terry. And I was just recording. It was really raw, and we were all going through it at the time. But really, Spirit was showing me. And then I had, death doulas on and near-death experience episodes on. And you can go back and listen on any podcast that you listen on, whether it's through Apple or Google or, Podbean or Anchor, wherever you get your podcasts. All those episodes are listed there, or even on YouTube. So really, I was being led, being shown a lot of things, being prepared for my own mother to pass. And she passed April 29th, 2021. And I even did a, I guess, a rogue episode. I did not go live at the time. I recorded in my car on the phone about that because it was really raw. And I just felt I needed to get it out. I mean, I had family around and everybody is going through their own grief and they express it differently. And, I really just want to keep this conversation going because it's important. March 2020, when, like we say, the world changed, that the earth, the axis tilted, everything got shifted. Everybody's life changed as we know it. It happened. It just happened in different ways. So what I'm saying is we all go and experience grief and loss and trauma differently. So I really want to implore, if you've never experienced it or, like myself, and it was funny, I had said to somebody a couple months ago, he is a mentor of mine. He lives in Ontario. He's 82 years old. Bless his heart, bless his soul. He is, I call him a wizard because he is. He is a psychic as well. And long story short, I said to him, the last person to have died in my family was my grandmother. And I was 15 years old. So look, my mom passes away. All these things happen. And, it's interesting. They say that she died from an enlarged heart. So in that episode, I talked about, I think that's why I am, a champion for people who are highly sensitive, for people who are empaths, for people who know that they they're light workers and they're here for a reason. They're just not sure. And it comes out in different ways, and especially mental illness. Okay. I will even throw out the, ADD, the ADHD. I will throw out the autism spectrum. We even talked about bipolar as well. So, if anybody knows my story, that's where it came from. That's where I came from. And until somebody told me differently, and it was something I've never heard before, it really opened my childlike wonder. So I guess that's, the whole reason my journey is unfolding just like it is yours. And like, this is a safe space. So have you lost a loved one? And I know that there were a few people on the full moon party, as we call it, that have. And we're just here to share. So if you have any tips, maybe what helped you, but it might not help everybody, but really we're just here to share. And that's it. Share, no judgments, no fear. Everything is done with love, of course, and service. And that's where I operate from. Whereas the old Christine operated from fear and from worry and from anxiety with a little dabble of depression. And as I heard Frank King on YouTube, he had an amazing talk. He's known as the mental health comedian. And I would actually like to get him on the show. And we're working on that. So he said, and this is very interesting, that suicide is always on the menu. I was like, what? Anyways, I was like, wow, okay. This is his version of grief for him and for loss. Just really like a soul loss. I feel like we have lost a lot in the ego's framing, right? But really, we have shed a lot. We've shed our old wounds, our traumas, intergenerational trauma, our ancestral stuff. And we've shed all that away. We've decluttered. We've let go. Maybe we're still working on this. Maybe we're not sure. But we're all doing it differently. And that's how grief operates too. People ask me, how are you doing? And I'm like, It's the wave analogy. That's how I see it. That's how I feel it. I take it day by day, minute by minute. And I don't look too far in the future. And I don't relish in the past. Although it's very nice, to be like, oh, remember the good old days. And I'm like, some parts, yes, but some parts, no, absolutely not. So, yeah, I'm just going to go to the comments here. Yes, Karath, I immediately thought of you sharing with us today and sending out infinite blessings and love and healings and prayers. Lynn, yes, she's saying, hi there. I was just listening to your earlier podcast and now here you are. Yes, and South Africa is in the house, absolutely. And I know Manitoba is in the house and British Columbia is in the house. Let me know where you're from. Thank you. First time here, just shared and liked. Yes, we're not doing readings, but thank you very much. If, as always, I have a lot of free offerings on my website, Christine.gold. I also have 24 Karat Healing on Facebook. There is, always complimentary intuitive calls. And if you'd like to book a session, reach out. Feel free to do so. I'm always here. All right. So, yeah, like I said, going back to my mom's enlarged heart, she took on everybody's stuff. And that's where I got my people pleasing from. Absolutely. People pleasing and just, trying to rescue people, save people. I think of that image from Mrs. Doubtfire. I don't know if you've ever watched that movie, but Robin Williams, God bless him. I mean, think of him and Bourdain, and there were so many that, took their life, right? And people were like, oh, they had everything, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, really? If you're watching people's energy, you can see the mask, right? You can feel what's going on. That's what I'm saying. So don't just look at the outside. It's a facade. And we've taken the masks off. The facades are gone and we're seeing everything, right? So maybe I also feel that, my mom just couldn't take on the world anymore. She just, I felt like it just weighed so heavy on her, especially after 2020. It was just too much. It was too much. And she would help anybody. Gosh. Even if she didn't have a nickel, she would find one, like just that. That's where she operated from. And we always had animals in the house. We always had, all of our friends would come to our house because it was the cool house, because really it was my mom. She set the tone. She really did. She had a huge heart for people that were orphans because she was one. You see how this comes full circle, right? So I was watching a video by David Kessler, and, people always have the best intentions when you lose somebody. Everybody comes from a different operating system, and a lot of people don't know what to say, okay? So what I'm saying is, don't try and fix. When somebody is going through something, don't try and fix. Please don't. Just be there for them. Hold space for them. Say, may I pray for you? I've had people offer Reiki for me, which I thank you so much for that, because I felt some shifts. I felt things moving through, because when someone passes, and I mean, I talk to my mom every other day, but I didn't get to say goodbye to her that day, not knowing that she was going to say goodbye. And even if you're a medium, I mean, I felt a lot of sadness all week, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Right? So yes, don't just be for them, pray for them, send them love, send them energy, ask how you can help, and then just say, and I'm here when you need me. And then you can just listen, and that's it. That is it. There is nothing else for you to do. Nothing else for you to do. And I know for my mom's partner, his vision is not that great. So there were amazing neighbors that would bring him food. You know, it's stuff like that. But then I think, I couldn't remember. I think it was Gabby who told me, the death doula. She said that after, I believe it's 3 months, you know, you get all this love and love and love, and then people disappear. And I think it's like anything, something new, whether it's death or a new baby, people are swanning and swooning, and then they're like, oh, you know, I don't know what happens there. Maybe you tell me. We forget. We think they're okay. They've gotten over it. Oh, that's a good one. Gotten over it. Yeah. You know, just like a job loss and a breakup. I mean, really, you cannot put them all in the same category. So David Kessler was saying that people, like, he had the analogy of the 99-year-old woman, and she passes and somebody comes along and says, oh gosh, what are you crying for? She had 99. She had a long life. That is, I'm sorry, that is not compassionate. How can you say something like that? You're dismissing what somebody is going through. Do not dismiss. Acknowledge. And you can even say, you know what? I have never experienced this before. And I just want you to know that I'm here for you no matter what. Or you could even say, I feel uncomfortable and I don't know what to do. Because you're leading from the heart, and that's all that matters. And you're not trying to fix anything, right? Being the bridge, the compassionate bridge. How can you bridge? How can you bridge? Come from a place of curiosity, not judgment, not fear, not hiding. That's a good one too. People will hide. People will disappear because they don't know what to do. Oh my God, I'm going to run away. Guess what? It comes back and smacks you right in the face. It really does. I'm just speaking. Yeah, I'm just speaking the truth. And I'm not saying there was anybody that did that. It's just, it was interesting, you know, like I was having a day a couple of weeks ago, and David Kessler's video popped up and it said grief. And I'm like, universe sent me this. Okay. I'm going to watch this. This is a sign. See what I mean? When you don't think you have support, or you don't think, that's the problem. You don't think that there's no one around and you're all alone and nobody understands and blah, blah, blah. Then the universe is like, okay, watch this. God's like, hello, get out of your spiral and look up, right? Look up. All right. Oh, you're from South Africa as well. Beautiful. Thank you for being here. Amazing. Look at that. I think that's the first time I've had 2 folks from South Africa. Look at that. Karath, you're just bringing them in. Thank you. Yeah, Lynn, it's boundaries. You need to learn to just be there for them and try not to fix. Absolutely. You can offer assistance and then step back. And Karath is just saying this pandemic had a tailspin where we didn't have full support from family members due to the restrictions. Yes, with the understanding that dead is the end of the physical chapter, I had to ride the sudden wave of losing both parents. Oh my goodness, 6 days apart. Aw, I felt like they just couldn't be alone, like separated. You hear those stories. Oh man, my heart just melted. The universe gave me support and encouragement to fulfill the funerals. Yeah, that's the other thing. You know, wherever you are in the world, it's absolutely ridiculous when someone dies. They have all these restrictions. They're like, church, you can only have 15 people. This was in Alberta. But you can only have 10 people at the funeral. It makes no sense. No sense. It is further traumatizing people and triggering their PTSD if they have some, which I feel everybody has PTSD of some form. You didn't have to be, you know, in some traumatic event or in the military or whatever. Honestly, that's how I feel. And they just keep trying to re-trigger those trauma triggers. So healing our collective wounds and our traumas is so important. Is like numero uno. So we had to find creative ways. We didn't want a service. We did the cremation, but we all gathered at the cemetery, and we're still going to be honoring her with video. Like, I'm going to be putting together a video because I like to do that, and her pictures, and having a photo book, and whatever we can. I mean, we're always going to honor her, obviously, birthdays and, all those holidays that come up. Those are ways to honor as much as possible. But, Karath is right that the physical death is actually the beginning. Truly is. It truly is. As hard as it sounds, I feel like my mom is free. She is free. Hallelujah. That's all I have to say about that. So, anyways, she was a queen, and now she is a queen of the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? And she's going to reincarnate. I know that for a fact. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you, Marcia. That was Miss Gabby's statement. We're there, not just today. Mm-hmm. And thank you, Michaela. So nice to see you. Yeah, every day going forward, be their loved one support system and continue to check in. Yeah, I think that was the most important thing, is we all get wrapped up in our stuff and we think people are okay because they say they're okay. But we need to really just keep that door open and say, I'm here if you need. Please ask. Don't be afraid. I love you. Say I love you as much as possible. And have those hard or tough conversations and just get it out, because, well, that's part of the full moon energy too, is anything that is hiding, or it will be illuminated. So what is your truth? What are you not saying? What are you not speaking from the heart? Maybe these hard conversations that I feel a lot of us have had to have because of everything that has changed. Oh, you're hoping that, well, spirit always comes through, Michaela. Again, if you want to go back to my full moon video, I do lots of free and complimentary coaching and items, but feel free to check out my website or my Facebook page for that. Mm-hmm. And Lynn said it's been 11 years and still put a setting at her table for those who had passed. Well, that's a beautiful way to honor and celebrate. I really love that, Lynn. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. When I was out there was so much symbolism. There were hawks flying, there were eagles. Hummingbird was my mom's absolute favorite. I see one every day. And there was one that just kept following me like the whole way. And then there were robins that were following me. They weren't flying, they were just hopping along. And I'm like, yes, Mom, I see you. I feel you. I know you're here. You're supporting each step. I appreciate that. So, and then above, in the cemetery, I've never seen this, in the middle of spring, a rainbow halo. Normally you get those halos from sundog in the winter, but a rainbow halo in the testify. I know that was a sign. There were so many, and I kept pointing them out to my family, and I'm sure they're thinking, oh, this again? Yeah, this again, because you need to pay attention. And don't say that, I wish she was here. She's here. She's in everything we see, in everything we feel, in everything we know. Our loved ones are always around us. You just have to ask, pray, talk with them, write, whatever it is. Honor them. If they had a project or something they absolutely loved, finish it for them, or start something that, a foundation, whatever it is. Just honor them the best way that you can. And yes, Natalie, she is free. Thank you so much. So really, I heard, I don't know who was talking about. Oh, I think it was Joyce Meyer. Here comes Joyce Meyer again. It's either Joyce Meyer or Joel Osteen. I mean, Joyce is like the kick butt um, preacher, and Joel is the uplifting. He has amazing stories. He's always smiling. I love his energy. So she was talking about help with grief. So she was talking about how it's between God and her mom. It's not about us. It's about her and God, and that's it. And I thought, wow, that is profound. I have never heard anybody say that before. So that really brought things into perspective for me as well. You know, don't ask why. It is not ours to ask. Why did my mom die? Why wasn't I there? Blah, blah. You know, the why? Shoulda, woulda, coulda, yourself away. Don't let them don't steal it away from them. You know, and don't screw it up for them as well. Stay in faith and don't blame and don't turn away from God. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. In fact, this is when you're like, you know, like thrust yourself upon the altar and say, you know, I'm putting this on the altar. I'm letting it go. Here I am. I'm a channel for divine peace. Use me, you know, through me, because it's, you know, that's how this works. And get back into the house and of God as soon as possible. Run to the strength of God or Source or Buddha or Mickey Mouse or whoever you believe in, but you got to believe in something. That's all I'm saying. And if you are offended by the word God, there is a trauma, there is a past life, there is something you need to heal with religion. That's all I'm saying about that too. Because I am not going to explain myself for using that word. I am the resurrection and the life. I am, you know, the stand up and recovery. I just can't get up. Jesus is in me. And if he rises, I rise. That's how this works. And I've said before, the Holy Spirit works through me because of difficult times, because you got to do the tough stuff. If you want the easy path, then go back to sleep. Jesus gave me life, so remove the burden. Make a list of all the things. Make the why me list. I did write a why me list. Why did my mom, why wasn't I there? Why didn't I talk to her? I didn't save her voicemails. Blah, you know, I didn't take her phone call this one day. Like, you really beat yourself up. Don't do it. And I'm not going to say why me anymore after that list. It's like doing the full moon ceremony where you write on pieces of paper things you no longer want to hold. I no longer hold fear. I no longer hold guilt. I no longer hold negativity, and burn it away. The same thing. Burn and release. Burn and release. You know what? I'm not going to say why me, because again, it's not about me. Ego likes to make it about me. It's between my mother and God. And that's it. Makes it pretty simple. And don't let your heart get bitter. Don't let your heart get bitter. Bitterness and money are really the two evils, in my opinion. Bitterness, that goes with resentment and all that other stuff, right? And, you know, money is not evil if, there's an if here. I'm saying if it's not coming from an egoic place. I'm saying it comes from your natural abundance of who you are, right? Because this spreads into everything and you push people away and you become intensely hostile. And we don't want that either. And every day, this is my gratitude journal. I also have a dream journal, which you guys all know. I'm just going to share every day. I'll write out, like today is May 26, 2021. My good friend, Nova Lee Wilder, who is an amazing numerologist and author, taught me about my life path number and all that stuff. But it reduces to 9. So today is this is a God code, 369, Nikola Tesla. You can look it up. God's wrap up. This is God's code. So I wrote down that I'm grateful for God. He is my anchor, my rock, my peace, my serenity, my prosperity. I'm grateful that my next home will be available in an instant. God has the perfect place for me. And I'm grateful for this full super flower lunar eclipse moon in Sagittarius to drop whatever doesn't serve me, to cleanse and detox whatever is weighing me down. And I do this every day. I write in it and I'm like, some days I'm like, really? You don't have one thing that you're grateful for? You woke up. Like, come on. I think we get so conditioned, right? If I don't have that Instagram life, please, no, I don't want it. I used to think I wanted it. I made 6 figures and all that and had the cars and the houses and all that. And I was still miserable. So please tell me. Please tell me. You're thinking, why is this girl doing what she's doing? Because it saved my life. Anyways. And every morning and most of the day, Spirit speaks to me through music and song. And I'm sure it does for you guys too. I had the song by Journey, Girl Can't Help It. It's a pretty profound song. Journey, his voice is just amazing. I dreamt about being with a couple and we were running out of bread. So I checked the mailbox. It's very random. Might be for somebody here, but and then a jet takes off in the sky above and we watch it, and then an airplane at the same time, and they're very close to each other, but the trail smoke leaves a crisscross. And you know what? I really think this is for me, because a lot of times I will see sky riders, chemtrails, whatever you want to call it, in the sky. I've seen a lot of X's lately. A lot of X's. So that's a sign. Pay attention. Anyways, I'm just going to get to the comments here. And Karath is saying, talk to them like they're in the next room. Absolutely. Cherish the good times and forgive the bad. Yeah, forgiveness for self, for others. Because if you don't forgive somebody and maybe you're not ready, you can write a letter and burn it. You can do whatever. You don't even have to tell this person. But if you actually forgive, it releases you. You unhook the chains, your own chains. I am free. But thank you for that. Yeah, it was the same for you too, Natalie. Why me? Exactly. Yeah, we go into that. I understand. And Karath is saying, why me? I have been given the responsibility of the world, for they have chosen to be the guiding light in my world. Wow. I love that. And yes, responsibility. We have to be responsible for our things. We can't just bypass everything. I think that's why we have all this trauma. But thank you for reminding me about that. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right. So let me know if you have any questions. There's a few things I of course talk about at the end. I'm going to make this a quick one, guys. But I have resurrected, or we have brought back, the Christ Consciousness Summit. It was supposed to be 3-4 weeks ago, but it is coming back June 5th and 6th. It is free. It is live streamed on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I'm putting Twitch in there. This is something new, but there's going to be light workers, healers, guides, readers, coaches, mentors, and there will be prizes and giveaways. So, follow my page, like everything on YouTube or whatever, subscribe, and then you'll know when, you'll get notified. And I look forward to seeing you guys there as well. This has already been posted on YouTube and Facebook, so you can go back and look at that, the Supermoon Ritual. As well, I have an energy series. I just uploaded the recent one about the heart chakra. So if you're new to chakras and energy work and want to know what it's about, Go follow me on YouTube there. Subscribe, I mean. It's like follow, subscribe, like. It's too many things to remember. But yeah, you can find out all about all of the chakras. The next one will be the throat, because I do work with a lot of energy. It's important. Obviously, that's why I do this show. And I know there's one more thing I'm missing. Oh, here we go. Unleash Your Soul's Purpose. It's every Saturday at 10 a.m. Pacific. It is a free, safe space to connect, to share. Everyone is welcome. It is a safe space to collaborate, connect, co-create. It's a lot of fun. It's the best hour, as Lynn would say, you would have on a Saturday. So if you need the link for that, just comment soul and I'll get you the link. If you're not part of my newsletter and would like $20 off your first reading, comment newsletter, and you'll also get a free chakra guide to help you with your journey. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here. And I love you so much. And please remember, healing begins where the ego ends. Take care.